Miami.
I called another friend of mine by the name of Udonis Haslam. What's up, UD?
Udonis Haslam is making his acting debut in...
This is an NBC News Special Report.
Good morning. I'm Erica Hill in New York. We have learned that Thomas Eric Duncan, the Liberian man who came to the United States and was the first case of Ebola to be diagnosed and confirmed here in the U.S., has died. The hospital where he was being treated in Dallas, Texas Health Presbyterian, announcing that he fought courageously, in their words, but at 7:51 a.m. succumbed to what the hospital called an insidious disease, Ebola. We want to go live now to NBC's Ron Mott, who is at the hospital where that news broke not long ago. Ron, good morning.
Erica, good morning to you. Sad news indeed. We're just getting word of this in the last 10 minutes or so that Mr. Duncan did pass away. And obviously a lot of questions now going forward, particularly the first visit he made here to this hospital on September 26th with those symptoms of Ebola. Told the hospital staff that he had traveled here from Liberia. Those red flags did not go up. They sent him away with antibiotics. 2 days later, he came back here to Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in an ambulance. He has been in isolation ever since, and as you mentioned this morning, he passed away. Now, his family came down, his mom and his nephew and some other family members from North Carolina on Monday. They were able to see him physically through a conference call. Yesterday, they wanted to come back to see him, but the mother said it was a little too difficult for her. He had been in a medically induced coma. We thought he was going to pull through, and then this shocking news this morning that he has passed away. Erica, back to you.
All right, Ron Mott for us in Dallas this morning. We should point out to the hospital saying that the 48 other Dallas residents they have been monitoring who had possible contact have not shown any signs of the disease. There has been much talk about how Thomas Eric Duncan got here and about travel into the United States from West Africa. Pete Williams is standing by now in Washington with more on some potential changes coming, what we're hearing from the government on that front. Pete, good morning.
Well, starting today, the government will now do more screening of people who have been to the countries in West Africa where Ebola is most prominent. They'll be questioned when they arrive. Their temperatures will be taken. They'll be asked to fill out a questionnaire. The government will then be able to track people and keep them informed. And they'll also be given this card that tells them about Ebola, tells them that if they've been to a place that has Ebola or come in contact with a person, they should take their temperature twice a day. And if they get a fever, go to a doctor. And the back of the card has instructions for their doctors on what to do, tells the doctor to put them into isolation and to contact the CDC for the full protocols on how to handle someone who might have Ebola.
And that was, of course, one of the initial concerns because Thomas Eric Duncan first went to the hospital in Dallas and then was sent home before coming back in the days that followed. The government has been getting a little bit of flack on that as well. How prepared are you hearing is not only the CDC, but in terms of the CDC reaching out in other areas ahead of potentially someone coming in?
Always a problem at the outbreak of something like this, and there are some people, medical experts, who question how effective this effort to screen people at the border will be, given that someone who wants to come to the U.S. and take advantage of the better medical care here can reduce their fever before they leave by taking common over-the-counter prescription medications and simply lie on the questionnaires. Nonetheless, the government hopes that they will get a better handle on the people who may have been exposed and try to encourage those people to look after their own health and get to a hospital or a doctor if they start to get any of the symptoms.
All right, Pete Williams for us in D.C. this morning. We should point out, too, we will have continuing coverage today throughout the day on NBCnews.com. You can head there for the very latest updates and also complete coverage this evening on NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams. Once again, just to reiterate, Thomas Eric Duncan has died. He was pronounced dead this morning at 7:51 a.m. in Dallas. I'm Erica Hill in New York. Catch us online again at NBCnews.com.
Brazil or something, getting ready to kick a little Cleveland booty?
Yeah, they flew out last night. Exciting.
Yeah.